Hello, everybody. Here at One Hit Thunder, we're committed to creating the best experience for our listeners. To help us learn more about you and what you want to hear, please head to surveymonkey.com/r/FPZY5JQ to take a short survey. Your feedback helps us improve the show and supports the sponsors who make this show possible. As a thank you, you'll be entered into our monthly drawing to win one of two $50 gift cards. If you want a chance to win one, go ahead and grab a pen and jot down this address: surveymonkey.com/r/FPZY5JQ. And thanks for helping us grow the show.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Skims or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/income.
Yeah, might want to download that Exxon Mobil Rewards Plus app. Yeah.
Are you the Exxon Tiger?
I am. Yeah, new users can earn $10 in points, $5 after your first purchase and $5 after your second. That's a lot. That's a whole lot.
It is.
Well, hey, you get on that download, buddy.
I will.
Loading. Download the Exxon Mobil Rewards Plus app and join today. Exxon. Trust the Tiger.
For details, visit ExxonOffer.com.
The band Trapt had a moment in late 2003. The song Headstrong is what a person who doesn't listen to heavy music might consider heavy, and it captured the attention of the mainstream for a minute. In a sea of countless radio rock bands that more or less sounded the same, Trapt could have easily maintained a career of decent tours and festivals based on the success of Headstrong alone. Their vocalist, however, had other ideas of how they should make their mark: a string of hateful internet posting on the band's accounts. What followed was obviously the whiny cries of cancel culture affecting the band's career, as consequences was apparently not something he was prepared for. This week, our Patreon chose to punish us by making us dive into the life and times of Trapt. Thanks a lot, Patreon.
One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
I came into this one trying to have an open mind. And really, Matt, to try to learn what went wrong here.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that's interesting. A lot of people, we can let the cat out of the bag because I think most people, this was voted on by the Patreon. And I think the Patreon voted on this because they knew that this was a band that might go below blunder in our eyes because of recent years, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time, when someone comes out shitty, Kanye West is a prime example. People will do this revisionist history where they're like, and his music wasn't even that good to begin with. And it's like, no, I can still dislike Kanye West and still admit that like College Dropout is like a flawless album.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I've been hating on Trapt since I heard Headstrong for the first time. I have never liked this band. So this was one of those, like, when they had their heel turn, I was like, yes. And I don't know why. Like, the amount of garbage that I liked Limp Bizkit, I liked Korn, I liked so much trash. But this, specifically the song Headstrong, I have hated this song from the first time I heard it, and I don't know why. I listened to it again, and I'm like, yeah, I still hate everything about this song, while acknowledging it's not, like, poorly recorded. It's catchy. Like, I just have always been a Trapt hater since 2001.
To me, I knew this song among the plethora of songs on alternative rock radio that
all sounded like this.
Yeah, that you couldn't help but know. And this one didn't stand out as worse than any of them. Like, it does have a memorable part. People remember the Headstrong part. You remember the chorus. It's pretty aggro. It's pretty meathead. It's pretty jock sounding.
But I think that's why. I remember, like, at one point I would never waste my energy writing a full parody of this song. But when I was performing live, like, acoustically, I learned just the chorus of this song and would, like, in a medley of songs, like, I would do like a medley of annoying songs. And I remember that this part was Headstrong, I hate this song. Headstrong, why is it always on? Okay. Because it was constantly on the radio where I was at, and I, like, that was like my 16-year-old rebellion to Trapt.
You got him.
Oh yeah, no, they cried all the way to their mansions when I said that. But yeah, this I think the aggro-ness of it really, really did it for me, right? Because I've said this before. We talked about this when we discussed, like, Woodstock 99 documentaries as bonus episodes on the show and stuff. Korn, for all the aggression that Korn had, Korn was not, by nature, they weren't jockey, right? Their songs were literally about being the guy that gets bullied by the jocks. Mm-hmm. Where, like, the song Headstrong feels like it was written by football players to hype up football players.
Yeah, I'll take you on. Yeah, I mean,
which is hilarious that the origins of this band, the first sentence of their Wikipedia, I was floored. This band started as a NoFX tribute band.
In the mid 90s, I mean, they met in middle school, and I assume it was like high school or something. They were a NoFX cover band called the Swingin' Utters. Not to be confused, there's a band on Fat Records called the Swingin' Utters, but it's spelled different. Yeah. It's Utters is the band on Fat. They spelled it Udders as in a cow's swinging udders. And they're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So it's so...
None of their music makes sense for their origins being a Bay Area band that started as a NoFX band to me.
I also don't understand how you grow up in a place like the Bay Area where, I mean, you're going to have people of different views no matter where you're at, but you're in the Bay Area and you're playing NoFX.
Yeah. At some point, theoretically, they had to have learned some of the decline.
Well, sure. I mean... It's puzzling to me, and I've brought this up before. There are people that I've known.
Maybe they liked NoFX just for that one album cover that feels inappropriate to say out loud.
What, for Heavy Petting Zoo?
No, the like...
the white trash.
The white trash one.
Yeah.
They're like, I like this band. They say words that us white people aren't allowed to say.
I don't know. It seems like the influences and the place you're growing up shouldn't lead to where Trapt led. So
I do feel like we need to stress, I don't know if it's all of Trapt or if it's just the lead singer.
Who, by the way, his name is Chris Brown.
Yeah, if your name hilarious.
If your name is Chris Brown, that's...
bad news.
Yeah, it's bad
because
news.
I think it's only him and the guitarist that are still in the band. And I know at least one dude left the band and actively said it was for political reasons.
Yeah, I know, right. I mean, I honestly don't know if it's just the singer in a whole new lineup of people that either A, are like, hell yeah, or B, like, I'll just do whatever it takes to play.
Yeah, I'll get a paycheck to show up and play these songs. Just play the self-titled album from 20 years ago on bass.
By 1998, before they were graduated high school, they were opening up for bands like Papa Roach. They recorded and released their first album, Amalgamation, in 1999. Then they signed with Warner Brothers and released their debut self-titled album on November 5th of 2002. So you had a few years there where I assume they're playing shows and maybe building a following. And dude, Headstrong went to number 6.
This is, I will have to say, when we were last month we were talking about Vertical Horizon and about like rock bands hitting number 1 in the 2000s and how impressive that was. And we kind of joked that like Vertical Horizon's pretty still adult contemporary pop for that. A song this aggressive making the top 10 on Billboard is wild.
Yeah, number 6 on November 15th, 2003. We are 2 years past 9/11 at this point. I bring that up because you and I both know that the music landscape kind of changed after that. When I look, a lot of times we look back at these charts, especially 80s and 90s, and I'm like, oh my God, music was incredible. I don't really feel that way about November of 2003.
So I'm of two minds. I agree with you. I will say that the top 5 and the songs and the song that Headstrong was like sandwiched between are all extremely memorable songs to me. You know what I mean? Like they are songs that I'm like, yeah. But yes, it is not a great time for music.
Well,
but you're looking at the surrounding songs. It's almost more impressive that this song got as high as it did compared to what it's around.
Maybe you'll be able to like tell me what some of these songs even are.
Okay.
Because the number 1 song at this time was Beyonce featuring Sean Paul, Baby Boy.
I know that this was a huge song. I always need to like hear it to remember it. It's not a song that jumps to my mind, especially like 2000s Beyonce. She had so many catchier songs. Do you want me to pull it up real quick?
Sure. I'm interested to see if I even know it.
Well, I was correct on it sounding more like a Sean Paul song than a Beyonce song.
What's the hook?
I actually have no clue what this song is.
I don't really know this song. I mean, I don't mind. It sounds kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, her voice really does kind of work on the Sean Paul beat, actually. But I thought that this was a totally different song.
Yeah. Number 2 was 3 Doors Down, Here Without You. Do I know that song? Number 2?
Yeah. I'm here without you, baby, and it's as lonely in my dreams.
Yeah. Okay. 3, another one. Santana and Alex Band. Why Don't You and I?
Okay, that one I don't know. All right, let me pull that up.
I mean, I only am having you pull these up because, like, these are huge songs.
So I'll say, why don't you and I get together and sing on the world and be together forever?
I have never heard this song in my life. I don't hate it, but it's not great.
Okay. Anyway. 4 at that point was Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's Mom. Which
Hell yeah.
Also, pretty cool that song went as high as it did. 5 was Nelly, P. Diddy, and Murphy Lee, Shake Your Tail Feather.
Oof. Bunch of people we can leave back in back then.
Yeah. Trapt at 6. Maroon 5, Harder to Breathe at 7. Now, do I know this Maroon 5 song?
You should definitely know this. This was the lead song on Songs About Jane. It was like, when it gets cold outside and I got nobody to love. Ooh, is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe.
I don't think I know this.
It's a man.
Now it sounds familiar, although that could just sound like every Maroon 5 song.
That's true.
8 was Baby Bash, Sugar Sugar.
No clue on that one.
No clue. 9 was Can't Hold Us Down from Christina Aguilera featuring Lil' Kim. I don't think I know that song either.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And 10 was Hey Ya.
Hey, yeah.
So Headstrong is definitely in the mix at this point, and okay, it is a memorable rock song. Also, their only other song that charted. I want to bring this up before we go down a.
Was it Still Frame? Was that
Yes.
the other one? Okay.
Still Frame went to number 69 a week later, a week after Headstrong hit its peak.
Well, what's funny is it debuted it debuted on the charts the week that Headstrong hit its top position too.
Okay, well,
So it debuted at 76, hit its peak the following week at 69, and then found its way back out of the charts.
I want you to pull this song up because this song, I came into this episode wanting to be a hater, and I'm like, you know what? This song isn't that bad. It's almost kind of Incubus-y.
All right, let's hear it. It's just the guy's voice. I do not like the voice, but musically, yeah, it's not bad.
No, you listen to verses. This chorus kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, this is very Incubus-y.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as Incubus, but it's like, this riff isn't bad. Like, the music isn't bad. Like, it's fine. Well, that's stupid, but you know, I bring this up for an important reason, because we're just going to see the most bitter, resentful, terrible, I mean, the singer especially, as we explore the story. And I have a theory that it's because at some point, this guy felt slighted by the music industry, by the world, and that influenced his worldview. And I feel like it's a Rob Schneider of music.
It's a Rob Schneider of music. I also think that there's also this element of, like, for a while no one was paying attention to Trapt, and then he started posting outrageous shit online, and then he is getting attention, and, like, maybe he's just one of those. I'm sure he believes 90%, if not 100% of the things that he says, but I feel like, and why one guy probably finally left was like, we're barely even a band right now. We're just a band that you use our social media accounts to rile people up because it makes you feel like. There was like one point where he went, much like the person in charge of America right now, a 24-hour nonstop rant on Twitter, just fighting with his own followers, with his peers, publicly on Twitter. And like, you don't do that for that long unless you're really getting off on the attention that you're getting.
Dude, it's funny how these right-wing grifters, be it Rob Schneider, be it Kid Rock, they do this stuff, and it seems like it works in ingratiating them with, like, the MAGA world, but then those people don't buy tickets to their concerts or their movies or anything. It's like, yeah, you won these people over, but they're not going to come to your show. How many of those Kid Rock things did you see got canceled?
Almost all of them, right? It's like now like a 5-day tour or something.
Yeah, it's like what? So you're just losing all around, and I feel like there's some stuff we got to talk to before that, because this self-titled album with Headstrong on it went platinum. Their next album, Someone in Control, was released in September of 2005, so a couple years later. This album didn't meet Warner's expectations. It sold 500,000 copies. Warner stopped responding to the band. Vocalist Chris Taylor Brown said, "We didn't like the situation. We asked them to let us off the label. There was no official parting of the ways. We just say, we're leaving, and there was no response, so we were out of there." So it makes me wonder, as we get into this story, and we can only speculate about what happened here. Were some of this guy's viewpoints starting to be known by people at the label, and we're like, we got to distance ourselves, and they just ghosting him? Or did they mishandle the band, which then lit this fire of resentment in this guy that made him hate the world?
It could be both of those.
Yeah.
It could also be there's an element of maybe he was just a dick from day one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just as much as we've heard stories of like a A&R scout or a record label that like really champions an artist even though they weren't having hits because they just genuinely liked the person enough to back them a bunch of times. The opposite can happen too, where you could have a group or an artist that feels like they're going to go really far, but no one wants to work with them because they're so infuriating. And then the label just says like, well, fuck you then. We're not working with you anymore.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, but they did sign to the rock label 11-7 the next year, which is a label that currently has the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, AWOL Nation, Finger 11, like lots of rock bands who either at one point did or still have legitimate fan bases put their albums out on this label. So it's not like not being on Warner should matter that much.
No, they I mean, off of that, they were able to put out a couple records.
Yeah.
And get booked on what I can only imagine is the tour you and I would least want to attend, which is the Motley Crue's Crew Fest. That was them, Buck Cherry, Papa Roach, Nikki Sixx's side project, 6 a.m. Nikki Sixx's side project, 6 a.m. And, of course, Motley Crue. There cannot be a lineup of bands that I could think of Christmas Values being less interested to attend.
I could deal with Papa Roach.
Papa Roach is... I was thinking about this when we said in the beginning that they, like, when they were teenagers, played with Papa Roach. Even going off of NoFX, even the bands that they're playing with at a young age are, like, genuinely cool, good dudes.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing, man. Like Papa Roach, yeah, they're a little too new metal for my taste.
But they're like solid dudes.
Yeah, like, you know, when we had Jacoby on Demakes, he's like speaking out and like, you know, talked a lot about like suicide prevention, talked about that song Last Resort, and like, I don't know. Yeah, he came off. I'm like, this is cool. This guy has had a cool career as a rock musician, and he sounded very appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And he continues to have a successful career and really had a lot of cool things to say about, like, you know, if you need help, reach out, really stress that. Just kind of the model of if you have success, like
what to do with
why
it.
not parlay that success into trying to make the world slightly better?
100%.
It doesn't. I never understand why people don't do that. It doesn't. I mean, at least at the very least neutral.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I want to stress, I don't fault people who maybe aren't even like neutral, but just don't talk about politics.
Yeah. Right.
In the sense of, for a while, I was like, you know, silence means this, but also like, you know what the world could use less of? People who just strictly aren't informed sharing opinions.
Yeah, I get that.
So like if someone's just like, you know what, I don't know enough to really say anything, like, good for you.
Okay.
Like, I respect that fully.
Sure. But I think that even if you're not speaking out on specific
You have
things,
opinions about people's, you know good and right and wrong.
right and wrong, empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy, I don't care where you think tax dollars should be spent or whatever, but like empathy for other humans.
Yeah. As long as you give a shit about someone outside of your very narrow worldview,
Yeah.
then it's like you're going to be making good decisions regardless what your voting record might be. But I would hope that your voting record would reflect you making good decisions.
Yeah, well.
But that's not what our show's about, and I don't need those 1-star reviews flying at us. But
no, I mean, Trapt released
Yes.
albums in 2008, 2010, 2013, and 2016.
I mean, they grind it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're releasing music. You're on a label. I'm sure that you can still... Look, I know that you could start to experience diminishing returns on your hit as the years pass if you don't have another hit. But you had a hit.
You had a hit, and not for nothing. In 2015, for that album DNA, they did that as a crowd-funded album and hit their goal like in 2 weeks. Like whether they were all over the radio or not, they had built a fan base that cared enough about them to throw money to a sixth album. 5 albums from the album that most people knew by them.
Right.
That should make you feel good.
You're right. I mean, it was their poorest charting album to date. It debuted and peaked at number 148 on the Billboard 200. But, at that point, you're a working class band again who had a hit.
Let me ask you a question about that, though, because I've always wondered this. For that, like, Punchline decides to kickstart an album, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, Punchline's kickstarting an album. Well, that's probably a bad example, but we're just going to use this metric. Kickstarting an album, if you donate up to blank amount of dollars, you're getting the physical copy of the CD or whatever.
Yeah.
Does those donations count as record sale, like records sold to Billboard, or is it physically who went into a store after they've already crowdfunded it and bought it after the fact?
Regardless,
I just mean like it being the lowest charting one might literally be because of the fact that it was crowdfunded.
And plus, at this point, you're starting to have things like iTunes.
Oh yeah, people might be paying $10 for a digital download of the album or something. Yeah,
and also you could get it for free.
Yeah, or you could just get it for free.
Right, and
you just listen to it on Spotify like a week after it comes out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Spotify was around by then or starting to be, but
yeah, they just celebrated a 20-year anniversary. They've been around since 2006.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, regardless, it wasn't enough for this band, I guess.
No,
well,
this is where the trouble really starts to make itself apparent.
It was a year later that they partook in the Make America Rock Again tour that happened that year and the following year.
Remind me who was on that
I think
tour.
It was Creed, wasn't it?
That's the thing that I was trying to figure out. I couldn't remember if this particular tour, I'm going to look it up, but I can't remember if this particular tour was one of those ones where it was of a like political stance, or because the like Make America Great Again thing was so prominent that they were just making a reference to it.
Dude, I cannot stand whether it's a parody slogan in support or against. Just let that slogan. It's like got milk parodies. Like, why do we need to parody that phrase? I mean, I guess in 2017 it's still like not as beat into the ground. I mean, it was plenty beat into the ground, but
I can't find this. All right, I'll figure this out in a second. But I that's like the one thing I forgot, that like in 2016 so many people were doing Make America Blank Again as like a thing.
Yeah, right.
That maybe wasn't specifically aimed at a political stance, but more of just a
parody of the slogan.
Yeah, here's the thing that everyone's doing. Let's see. Tour featured 2000s post-grunge bands. Headlining bands were Trapt, Saliva, Saving Abel, Alien Ant Farm, Crazy Town, 12 Stones, Tantric, and then supporting acts were POD, Puddle of Mud, Fuel, and Drowning Pool. When I was reading the headliners, I thought maybe it was political. When I'm reading those supporting acts, though, like I don't think I mean I'm almost positive POD is not MAGA.
Or Fuel.
So I don't know.
Maybe it was just a parody of the
similarly named but more politically this was good. Similarly named but more politically charged Make America Rage Again tour featured Rage Against the Machine, Cypress Hill, and Public Enemy at the same time. So I do think that it was more just going for a parody thing at that point in time.
Okay. All right. Well,
but it's easy to get confused because, boy, if there was a Make America Rock Again tour that was politically charged right now, Trapt would be on that bill front and center.
In May of 2020,
the
band's 7th studio album, Shadow Work, was announced. And Chris Brown said, this is a quote from him, that it was probably one of the top 5 albums that will ever exist for all time, which is just, I don't know. It's a funny thing to say.
You love that confidence, though?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume.
Look, you're saying that while the Beatles have what, 11 albums?
99.9% of people that would say that sentence about their own album are being funny.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say like, oh yeah, it's just something you're saying.
I don't think he has a sense of humor, though.
I don't think so either. That's the sad part. It was released the following July, and it sold 600 copies its first week.
Yep.
An 87% drop from the prior studio album. That's actually pretty bad.
That's rough. And this is also right when drummer Mike Smith is like, I'm done with this.
Well, also, keep in mind, it's during the height of the pandemic.
Yep.
You have an album come out. You're living in a world where people aren't really buying albums now. How much were you pushing? Like, did you release it on vinyl? Did you release it on CD? What are we calling? I don't know why I'm trying to defend this band so much. I'm just trying to like.
You're trying to be fair and balanced.
Yeah, I am trying.
Like your favorite news network.
Right. Because we're going to get into some salacious stuff now. Because then, so that was in May of 2020. Then by December, it had been reported by multiple outlets that Chris Brown had been fired from the band, though it was debunked as a hoax hours later. Then, a month later, January 23rd, 2021, drummer Mike Smith announced that he had left Trapt for primarily political reasons.
Yeah. So Mike Smith,
Respect.
You're exempt from all of the complaints that we have.
Yeah. I mean, none of my complaints about Trapt are necessarily based on musicianship. I even give them a little more respect as far as like the way the music sounds than you do. Like,
I've never liked this band.
They sound like 500 other bands that sound like that.
That's part of it too, I feel like. But also on top of all this, like that album only selling 600 albums, he's already been doing his bullshit on Twitter for like a couple years at that point.
Really? Because
he started in 2017.
Okay.
When he started attacking his listeners about
2015. Metal Sucks. Started reporting on it in 2015. He said the band's official Facebook account made lengthy posts criticizing viewers of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which devolved into the account swearing at and berating commenters. Now,
but in 2017, that's when he started coming at people because he was defending Donald Trump, dismissing James Coney. And that's when the political shit started to come out, because that's when he started to say that there was no such thing as institutional racism. So we're looking at an album that's coming out after he's already starting to like attack his listenership.
Right.
And I'm sure that there was a bunch of people who maybe even donated to the GoFundMe or Indiegogo in 2015 that are now like, fuck off.
Well, let me start with, if it started with criticizing Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which, dude, Chris Brown, I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes Marquis puts it on. I'm like, why the fuck are you watching this? What? I kind of agree that like, I don't know how, I feel like that's a whole podcast episode. Like, how do I feel about the Kardashians? Well, I guess Kim Kardashian, like at some point, was like doing things that were good for like people in prison or something, like advocating for them.
I feel like Kim Kardashian is actually a better human than she gets credit for, but that still doesn't mean I want to watch. I still don't want to watch like her family's life on TV for hours at a time.
Yeah. Also, I think that maybe I think there's the good and the bad with her.
Yeah.
I think there's like, but this isn't about Kardashians. What I'm saying is like, it's not that big of a deal to criticize people that watch this stupid show.
No.
But why are you doing that on your do it on your personal Twitter, or if you want to bitch about TV.
Maybe you just wanted people to actually see it.
Yeah, I guess you're just trying to stir stuff up. But theories. So maybe he makes these posts and is like, ooh, I'm getting some traction here. That's what happens with a lot of these like edgelord people.
Oh, 100%. They're like, oh, people are sharing this.
You get addicted to the engagement and the attention, and then you got to push it further and further and say more and more crazy shit, right?
Yep, 100%.
So that is a theory here of what could have happened. Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs, all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Stitch Fix. Stop shopping. Get styled.
Not today, sweatpants. Somebody's wearing jeans that fit.
Wow! No photos, please. I'm just a regular dad who happens to have a stylist.
I really look my best when someone else makes the decisions.
Hey, we can all see you two-way mirrors.
Just share your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. Stitch Fix. Get started today at StitchFix.com.
I want to hug you. I'm going to hug you. I'm coming in for a hug.
The internet gives us a glimpse into the crazy happening all around us. Unhinged behavior, personal secrets, unbelievable coincidences. It's all one big circus, and the RR Show is your front row seat. Each week, we curate the wildest Reddit stories just for you. Whether you're into hilarious accidents, insane relationship drama, or pure chaos, these insane confessions are sure to make your jaw drop. Listen to the RR Show weekly on Mondays via your favorite podcast platform, or get your episodes early and ad-free by becoming a member. The RR Show. All of the drama, none of the hassle.
Hey, one-hit thunderers. Thunderheads? Thunder buns? All right, I'll just go with one-hit thunder listeners. This is Krista Makes, guitarist and vocalist for Less Than Jake, and host of Krista Makes a Podcast, a songwriting podcast where every week I'm joined by an amazing guest to break down the writing, recording, and release of one iconic song that they have written. In our giant evergreen back catalog of episodes, we've had rock legends such as Dee Snider and Huey Lewis, punk rock favorites such as Mark Hoppus, Fat Mike, and Brett Gurewitz, up-and-coming artists of today such as Liz Stokes of the Beths and Genesis Owusu, and even some of the artists that have been featured on One Hit Thunder. The show is even produced by One Hit Thunder host Chris Fafalius. What more could you possibly ask for? Krista Makes a Podcast is available for free on all the places you listen to podcasts, and new episodes come out every Monday. I guarantee you'll like it, or we'll give you your money back.
I'm also being devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Once again. So at some point around this era, there was also, I saw that he had put homophobic insults toward an internet musician who the band had feuded with on social media. And I was like, Jesus Christ. But then I went and looked at what it was. And I don't know if this is just not terminology that I'm familiar with. And I don't mean this believe me, I don't mean this in a offensive, but he called the guy that he was arguing with, who was someone I never heard with before, he called him butt boy.
Yeah.
Is that I honestly wouldn't have, I guess if I mean, I guess I can see how that would be. I also am like, my first instinct would be, that's not like a term I use. My first instinct would be like, that's like calling someone a butthead or something. But then I'm like, oh, is that a gay slur? I didn't know.
Is it 1992?
Yeah,
like,
right,
who's
right.
using that as that sounds like something that like Wayne and Garth would call somebody.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Yeah, right. So
even your hate is outdated.
Maybe there was more. Maybe there was more stuff. That was the quote that I saw quoted, and I was like,
well, sometimes also I've noticed this with news stories is that they don't want to print the really bad stuff, so they go with the tamest.
Oh, I'm not trying to downplay it.
I still think it's fucked up. You shouldn't.
Okay, yeah.
But I think even any of my friends in the LGBTQ community would probably give that like a 1 or a 2 on the burn scale of hateful comments that are thrown their way.
Yeah, I was expecting to see like the obvious things,
like a hard F.
Yes, I was expecting that, and hey, that may have happened. I didn't see it if it did.
Yeah, just the quote from the article that was their reference.
In some of these things that are gonna come up that I'm gonna talk about, he says too. It feels like, and I know people like this. It feels like someone that grew up in the 80s or 90s who used certain insults of people, and as we all grew up,
they didn't.
We learned like, you shouldn't say that word.
Yeah.
Like, and
there's things that I have said and did when I was in high school and college that I like am mortified by.
Sure.
I take solace in hoping that I think about what I said more than the person I said it to at this point in my life. But yeah, it's like, man, I was just a kid joking around. I didn't know how hurtful those words were actually going to be.
Go watch a movie.
Oh my God.
From the 90s or
2000s even.
2000s even. Popular movies, you still had people using homophobic slurs and, all kind of shit that you just learn.
Yeah.
You learn and you and if you need to apologize, you apologize and you stop using the shit. He seems like one of those people who's like, this is what I say. Like, this woke world's not going to stop me or cancel me from saying, like,
yeah,
dude, it's just the reason we don't use them is because it's fucking mean.
Yeah. It's just a mean fucking thing to say to somebody.
It's fucking hateful and mean and disgusting. So that's why we don't say it anymore. But there's a lot of things I see in this guy that I would see in people that may, like certain people that I would like have grown up with and never evolved past that. The thing you talked about, March of 2020, Metal Injection, the AV Club, and Slate all reported that the band's Twitter account had gone on a week-long effort of arguing with and insulting people. I guess it's Chris, the vocalist, defended the Unite the Right rally, which is the thing where they were carrying the tiki torches.
Yep, I remember that. He also was challenging the concept of white privilege, which like that's like the easiest thing to prove exists in the goddamn world,
dude.
He kept repeating some fairly racist rhetoric that Trump was using related to COVID that I'm not going to say. And of course, why not just add it onto the douche pile, then just started fat shaming women while he was in the middle of it.
That's another one of those things where it's like, hey, when I was young and stupid, it'd be the kind of thing. I mean, you see it with the fucking president.
Yeah.
Still today, like as if he's like a hot guy.
Yeah.
As if he's a hot trim guy or something. Like he is a
Pig. Like, it's like you looking in a mirror, buddy?
Dude, he's fucking you're horrendous looking, and you comment on people's looks all the time. But
can we talk about something I do think is funny related to this time period, though?
Sure.
Because this is around when Chris Brown starts to get very litigious.
Yeah,
I would
right,
say he
right,
starts
right.
suing things left and right, and this made me
or
laugh.
threatening to sue.
Threatening to sue. This made me laugh when he threatened to sue against change.org petitions that were made that wanted to keep Trapt's music off of the Tony Hawk remasters, even though their music wasn't in the games to begin with.
That's really awesome. He also threatened legal action against an unflattering parody Twitter account, who then had to put that it was a parody account on it.
Also, like, how... That's one of those things where I'm almost like, how do you even parody how off the the rails this guy has gotten?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's for sure has to be close to one of those Stranger Than Fiction situations where that parody account is probably just writing tamer versions of what he's actually putting on the legit Trapt account.
Yeah. I mean, and then it gets to like where I'm like, Jesus.
Fuck this guy all the way. Yeah.
I mean, I've been that way the whole way. I'm trying. I know. Here, I just knew coming into this episode, people are going to expect me to just be. I wanted to come in and subvert people's expectations of how I was going to approach this episode, but at this point, I can't because it was in the same month that Brown used the band's account to blame George Floyd for his own death.
Yeah. I can't imagine why this drummer eventually quit the band.
I mean, how long do you need to watch this guy kneeling on, like literally killing this guy, kneeling on his neck, and still blame him? He then later went on to contradict himself and say that Derek Chauvin was mostly responsible and that kneeling on a man's neck should be outlawed. So...
yeah, but then he also was like, but you know who's great? The Proud Boys. Like, he just couldn't, he just fucking sucks.
Yeah, this
It
guy's
feels
awful.
like he says all of the thoughts in his head and he fights with people who come back at him. And then every once in a while, if it's too many people shitting on him, he'll like backpedal one of his comments the tiniest amount.
Yeah, he announced in October 2020, the band announced their support for the Proud Boys and invited the group's Dallas chapter to their next show in town. He also has claimed to have become a member of the Proud Boys. Like this, at this point, there's no sticking up for this guy. I went as long as I could trying to like give him the benefit of the doubt. This guy is a racist. He's a sexist. He's just the very worst.
But going back to all of this, though, what is comforting to me is that there are consequences to this.
Yeah.
This band, it is an uphill battle every day for this band to actually play at a venue at this point. It's like every tour that they're attached to, shows are getting canceled either from low ticket sales or people just straight up calling the venue and being like, you should not book this band, and the venue backtracking.
It happened in Pittsburgh. Like there were like 3 different venues that they tried to play at. And, you know, there can be examples of people talking about, it's cancel culture, trying to cancel me, man. And then, you know, 90% of the time, it's like that person that's complaining about cancel culture is like more popular than ever. And it's like, who are you canceled? What are you talking about? Like
that's
hack comedians, you know?
That's the thing that I always end up landing on. And I know it's like the cliche that people say. There is no canceling. No one is canceled. You deal with consequences. You deal with consequences of that. And sometimes those consequences are that maybe you have a little bit of trouble playing shows. Other times, it's like your career is ruined because no one wants to touch you with a 10-foot pole. But those are the consequences of if you decide to be a publicly shitty person.
It's like, dude, it's so funny. Like most of the time, it's fucking capitalism.
Yeah.
It's capitalism because a venue's not going to book you because they have a reputation and they want to make money and have people come to their club. So they're not going to book you because the people are threatening to not come to their club or boycott their club. So they're like, well, it's consequences for your words and your actions.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't, honestly, if you're canceled, you canceled yourself by showing your true colors.
Yeah. The thing is, baseline, the easiest thing you can do is just be a good person. It's not hard to be a good person. But if you, for whatever reason, are a piece of shit, the second easiest thing you can do is just don't fucking say anything. No, if you're going to be shitty, just be a privately shitty person if you're in a public position, and shut the fuck up about being canceled.
Dude, do you want to hear more terrible shit?
I don't even know if I want to get into this next portion of what he starts, because it's so fucking...
He tweeted that black people need to, this is a quote, move the fuck on from slavery because the Civil Rights Act was passed over 50 years ago. Funny enough, Matt, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Acts that just
got rolled back this year.
All these same things that apparently Chris Brown thinks. Chris Taylor Brown, not to be confused with Chris Brown.
Oh, but Chris Brown might think the same. I don't know. He's
who knows what, he might as well. There's that, dude. And then in December of 2020, on the band's Twitter account, once again, that's the fucking craziest part. Yeah. Oh my God.
Could you imagine if any member of your band went rogue on like the Punchline Facebook page and just started posting this?
And wrote a series of tweets that defend statutory rape, where you say that you would high five a hypothetical 15-year-old boy who had sex with a 25-year-old teacher?
Yeah, that was the part I wasn't looking forward to us getting to.
He wrote things like, I don't call a 24-year-old woman who takes advantage of a 15-year-old boy who is entirely through puberty a pedophile. A 15-year-old male and a 25-year-old female is not pedophilia, you fucking moron. This is once again one of those tropes of like a conversation that probably a 15-year-old would have in the 90s or something. You've heard this conversation. Honestly, it's kind of the basis of a song of like Hot for Teacher or something like, but I challenge you to like go talk to a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
That's a child, male or female, and a 25-year-old isn't an adult. Like,
honestly, I would go as far as like college age and early after college age. Like, I remember being in college thinking I was an adult and looking back at like going on my like live journal or thinking back to conversations I had, and I was like, I was still a fucking kid. I didn't know a goddamn thing about how the world worked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but I'm saying
but yes, a child
is a child.
A child is a child. I guess what I'm trying to say is I honestly feel like the age of consent probably should be pushed up further to like 21.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Because I think that the like equally gross is like the amount of fucking celebrities dating 19 and 20-year-olds. Like, it's like, I don't care if in the eyes of the law that's okay. That's still fucking weird because you're 50.
It's weird.
Like, what could you possibly have to talk to this 19-year-old about, you 70-year-old creep?
Well, yeah, that's weird. Remember when Jerry Seinfeld was dating a 17-year-old?
Yes.
Wasn't he like 40?
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. Just weird, gross shit like that.
It's very weird, but
Trapt is all for it apparently because their lead singer speaks on behalf of everybody on his Twitter account.
Once again, how you said about like, oh, enough people get outraged, he walks it back. In April of 2021, he said it was a joke in bad taste. This isn't joking.
No,
these quotes are not joking.
Yeah,
like that's not presented in a joke format.
Yeah. There's no setup or punchline to it.
Not at all. They were dropped from a 2025 tour with Power Man 5000 just days after being announced as a support act, which I can only imagine is Power Man 5000 was probably like, this guy was an asshole like years ago, but people probably forgot about that by now. I can only imagine there was just like a frenzy of people being pissed off about it, and Power Man 5000 were probably like, I don't want to deal with that. Chris Brown has said, now this is his recent this is the most recent stuff I could find, that the band has not spoken about anything other than music for years now. And there hasn't been anything in the past like 4 or 5 years, which I think maybe, I don't think the dude has learned his lesson about being a better person. Maybe only learned his lesson that, man, we're fucking losing out on a lot of money and stuff because I won't shut the fuck up.
But I think the damage is so done. Like,
dude, go look at photos of their shows.
I know. And now they're like, I think right now they're working on a new album. I think they're supposed to do like an anniversary of the self-titled album tour that they're trying to work on. And I just don't think any of that shit's going to come to fruition. I mean, maybe the album, but I don't think anyone's going to buy it. Like, I think that even short of him doing the greatest forgiveness campaign that we've ever seen a PR team pull off, people are not going to forgive or forget the behavior that he did for the last however many years online.
I think it's, I mean, dude, this is hard. But I do think that if things are ever going to get better, which I've always been an optimist, man, but I don't know. I hate to say that. But
I mean, I continue to be an optimist.
Okay.
I truly do think that, like, all right, so here's the
long arc of justice bend, or whatever that quote is, bends towards.
So here's the perspective that I've taken over the last couple weeks, mostly driven by even my own family that is very right leanings change of opinion on our current president. And then being like, I think he's bad for our country.
Mm-hmm.
I think we needed him to win this second term.
Oof.
And I know, but hear me out. If you look at the alternate version where he loses, it just would have been a continuation of what we've been having. This election was stolen from the Democrats, blah, 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 blah. Like that base would have still been ferocious and with him. But by him getting the second term and doing everything that everybody who had a sense warned people would happen, it has been just ripping his entire support system apart. Whether it's like other politicians that were like all behind him backtracking, or just people who voted and supported him being like, he's destroying our country. Look at the gas prices right now. Like, it fucking sucks. I don't want to be here dealing with it, but I truly think that if he didn't win, that would have just fueled that entire MAGA ideology further, and now we're watching it burn out.
You know,
it sucks. I don't like.
Well, but I guess what I was getting at is like,
but we have to reach across the aisle sometimes.
I know I did not reach, but like
allow people to get forgiveness if they change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's like when someone finally, I mean, I don't know why it would take you a decade plus of this fucking pedophile rapist president to like finally be like, okay, I'm over it or something. But like, I think that you kind of got to just instantly be like, welcome to the team.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh, well, finally, I told you, you know, like
it drives me nuts because I'll see, for a while I was seeing these TikTok posts that was like, I used to be in the MAGA cult, I've stepped out, and like they would post the apology videos and always top comments like, you are not forgiven. And I'm like, we can't be like that. We can't.
I know the
that's the instinct, but you can't be like that. That's how you push someone back into the arms of that cult.
Don't you? I guess the reason this guy got into power is because so many people felt ostracized or something. And, you know, you look at, like, dude, there's so many Democrats that fucking suck.
Yeah.
Horrible people with horrible views. And just like that party is like, I don't really consider myself a Democrat.
No, I think that most of the people in our circle of life would happily vote for a good, reliable third party if we thought that it could win and have an option. I do not want to have to be labeled as a Democrat. I just want to be labeled as a person who makes empathetic decisions. Because half the Democratic Party is as corrupt and shitty as the Republican.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think me as a left-wing person, do you think I like
John Fetterman?
Oh God, don't get me started. He doesn't even count. I mean, yeah, don't get. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Or Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries or that Richie Torres guy. Like, these people fucking suck. You think I like them?
And I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't know how much of an influence this podcast has on anybody's voting record. I implore you, and this has slowed down a little bit, thank God. I implore you that if you think that Gavin Newsom is the future of our party, talk to any Democrat who lives in California if they think that they want that man as the president, because the answer is a resounding no. He is just as corrupt. He just has a real good social media manager who handles that, because we would be getting more of the same with him. Obviously not as shitty as where we're at, but there would be no moving the needle or moving progressively towards anything with him.
No, this is, things are so bad that this is our opportunity to swing that pendulum hard. With
just being better than Trump is not what we're looking for at this point.
Get money out of politics. Don't allow corporations to buy elections, and give us fucking health care. And the world will be a lot better place.
100%. All right. But I have a question for you, Chris, because this has really gone all over the place. You got some trivia for me?
I don't.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I couldn't even.
Was it going to be is this a real tweet?
No, I couldn't even do a trivia game about Trapt. I really couldn't. Sorry,
You know what? I can live with that, because let's say what everyone was expecting us to say. I think, speaking for me anyway, that we've finally found our second Greenwood here on One Hit Thunder.
Not a thunder, not a blunder.
Not even a hinder.
Not a hinder. This is a Greenwood.
This is what the Greenwood category was built for.
Yeah, because Lee Green, I mean, I did have
I would put this lower than Greenwood, honestly. I think that Chris Brown has shittier opinions than Lee Greenwood.
I think
I think Lee Greenwood is a fucking grifter.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know if I would call, again, I fucking hate Lee Greenwood. I don't know if I would call. I don't know.
Lean Lee Greenwood.
Lean Lee Greenwood. I don't know if I would necessarily say Lee Greenwood is a fascist, or that I think he's a Nazi. I fucking think the dude from Trapt is as Nazi as a Nazi.
We said he's a Proud Boy.
That's what I mean. So I'm I actually think that he's even fucking worse than Lee Greenwood.
Wow.
But we're not adding a Trapt option.
We're not adding Trapt. It's a Greenwood, and all I can say is that as far as the music goes, man,
it's fine.
If you're listening, you didn't need to do this. You could have been a normal person and there could be a tour with Power Man 5000, which I could imagine, if you're into that style of music, would be a pretty decent tour at pretty nice clubs.
But I would. Here's my other flip on why it's who gives a fuck. There's also nothing exceptional about it. It's just,
I know, but
it is baseline fine, and there are hundreds of bands that sound just like this band that aren't pieces of shit that make better songs.
But my point is, had Chris Brown and whoever else in Trapt goes along with it or agrees with it, or I guess, you could have sailed along and had a pretty good, you could have made a living playing music, and people would have liked you. Have been oh yeah, Headstrong, I like this song. And
could you imagine a song more likely to have done a TikTok viral thing at some point? It ain't happening now. No one wants to put that song on shit, but I could see this similar to our boys in Wheatus or countless other bands, this song getting a second life. It's just years later, and then being able to coast on these reunion tours and doing tours of Europe and all over the place and really doing something.
It's it's weird to me because a lot of the people that are bad people make Kid Rock. Like, I'm like, this is the worst fucking music I've ever heard in my life. This is horrible. I honestly don't feel that way about Trapt's music. I feel like it's wallpaper.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not appealing to me, but I don't listen to it and I'm like offended by the sound of it. I'm like, oh,
no,
this is
but that's kind of what I'm saying though, is like, it is wallpaper. It's
but if he wasn't a fucking terrible person,
there's nothing wrong with wallpaper.
Yeah, it's like you could have a career based off of the success of that one song. You could be on good tours. Why? Like, if you just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, all you had to do was shut the fuck up.
But you know what it is? I think if we were to remove all of the politics stuff, like strip all of that away, I think my vote would have ended up being Blunder regardless.
Yeah.
Because it would have been similar to Default to me. Where it's like, oh, this band, remember we made the joke about Default. That name's perfect because they are the default setting of what a rock band can be. Like, I guess my point is, like, I don't feel the least bit bad putting them in Greenwood, even if I was to remove all of the politics from it, because, like, musically, they were a very good, fine radio rock band. But that was, like, it. Like, they did the bass line of it. Like you said, they had a little bit of Incubus, but they weren't as interesting as Incubus. like there's just, it would be like a more debatable, remove the politics from it, if it was like, man, musically, this band was really fucking stellar. But like they were just good. They were just a good rock. Like, they were just a baseline good rock band.
Good is even a stretch. Average.
They were average. They were literally as acceptable as a band could be asked to be.
You keep saying politics, but it's not politics.
I mean, his just shitty attitude in general. But
basic humanity and empathy, basic respect for your fellow man. That's it.
And Patreon, I just want you to remember, you voted for this to happen.
This is what you do to us, Patreon.
I don't want to hear a single one of you be like, man, they really went off on politics in this episode.
No,
you chose this.
This is just, I mean.
Anyway, Trapt, they're Greenwood.
They're Greenwood. I don't feel like fucking talking about Trapt anymore.
Chris Brown, anybody named Chris Brown, sorry if any of our listeners are named Chris Brown, change your name. It's an unfortunate situation. All the Chris Browns I know suck.
Something is wrong. Hell on the rise. Into the mouth.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Fafias of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Into the Mouth off the Punchline album Delightfully Pleased. Visit punchlinemusic.com for any upcoming news on the band. Our podcast is on Patreon. Find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on future songs for us to cover. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app, and tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.
Have you ever wondered why songs on the radio are popular? Why do certain movies get made, even though the premise seems completely random? Why are concert tickets costing you $3,000, but nobody makes any money touring? Well, on my podcast, Breaking Down the Biz, we answer all those questions and more. I'm Seth Schackner. I have over 2 decades of experience in the entertainment and the music industry, and every week I talk to insiders that lend insight and expertise on the media you know and love, past, present, and future. Subscribe now on your favorite podcasting platform or watch us on YouTube so you never miss a beat. Let's make sense of this industry together.